Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for jumping on. Those that have jumped on live, and also to those that are watching the recording. I'm so excited tonight to share the story of a couple of incredible LifeVantage products. I'm going to be sharing about NRF2 and Mind Body, which have had a massive impact on my life and been an incredible game changer. And we're also going to hear from Rachel as well, which I can't wait to hear Rachel share her story, which is so inspiring. And we both kind of started in different places when we started on the mind body system, which is the system that we'll talk a lot about tonight. But we both experienced incredible results with it, just game-changing results. So welcome, and I am going to just share. So we, LifeVantage, a company which basically we take it to make it. And what does that mean? Is it means we empower our bodies to make our own, to make the antioxidants, proteins, and enzymes and things you need for better health. So we're supporting your body. We're meeting your body where your body's at. And we often talk about LifeVantage being the activation company. And some people kind of go, what do you mean by activation? And I love this quote, so I thought I'd include this here. So activation is stimulating the body's natural health mechanisms at the cellular level. So it's unlike supplements. The products aim to enhance your cellular production, support healthy aging, and improve overall wellness by activating specific genes and pathways. So we're working with your body. So the first product I'm going to talk about tonight is NRF2. Now, this is the flagship product for LifeVantage, and this is a product that I have been taking for over 5 years now, because it had such a huge impact on my life and also my family's life. And I really couldn't imagine life without it, to be honest. So what do? We take Protandim NRF2 to support our body to make its own antioxidants. So, and that in turn will help reduce oxidative stress. Now, some people might not be familiar with oxidative stress, although it is a really big buzzword right now. There's so many people talking about oxidative stress. And basically, oxidative stress, when it's high, it means that it can accelerate aging, and its impact when it's too high in the body is brutal, to be frank. So we want to crank up your body's own production of antioxidants to help repair those cells and fight the signs of aging at the source. And when we do that, we lower your oxidative stress. And I love this slide because it just shares in a really simple way the 5 ingredients that are in the NRF2, which is ashwagandha, which is a mood balancer, bacopa, which is incredible for brain clarity. It's got green tea, which is an amazing antioxidant and metabolizer. It's got milk thistle, which is an incredible liver cleanser. It's got turmeric, which is a potent anti-inflammatory. And those 5 ingredients combined at the right ratios basically activate your NRF2 pathway. And what are the benefits for you in your body? It means that it helps your body to detoxify. It reduces oxidative stress by 40% within 30 days, which is phenomenal. It significantly reduces cellular stress through NRF2 activation. So if you think about stress, stress is obviously not a great thing. So the more that we can do to support our body to reduce that stress and reduce especially stress in our cells, because we've got trillions of cells. So the more we can reduce that stress through NO2 activation, the better. It also produces enzymes capable of neutralizing more than 1 million free radicals per second, and it increases your glutathione. So it's such an amazing product. Now, that is obviously where it all started, and we've got some other incredible activation products. But last year, Life Vantage kind of went back to the drawing board and went, okay, what else can we take to make? What else can we take for our body to make? And that is when they came out with this incredible mind-body system. So the idea is that you take mind-body, which is a two-part system, and you basically support your body to make its own GLP-1. So we're supporting your body to increase its own GLP-1 production. And that in turn can result in natural weight loss or weight management. And it does that by turning down that food noise, helps your body to burn visceral fat. And we've just done a study on the international formula, which is available here in New Zealand. And the study showed, which I'll share the results shortly, and I'm so excited to share those results, but it basically activates your own GLP-1 by an average of 220% when you take this system. So we're calling it the next evolution in activation. It's an innovative two-part system that will help build better habits, help you achieve your goals, and become a healthier, stronger you. I've been on it since October, and sorry, no, I've been on it since November. It was available in the States from October, and I started it in November, and I've had incredible results, which I'll share shortly. But anyway, what I will just let you know, because some people, like there's a lot of people talking about GLP-1, but some people don't actually know what happens when your GLP-1 is in balance, what you're going to notice. And these are some of the things. So fewer midday crashes, regulated energy levels, regulated appetite, reduced cravings, improved cardiovascular health, reduced inflammation, improved mood and motivation. Absolutely, I can definitely testify to that. And brain fog and mental clarity. Hallelujah. Now, GLP-1 isn't just about weight management. It actually supports the whole body. So it can support your kidneys with protective effects. It can support your liver by reducing liver fat accumulation and inflammation. It basically helps to regulate the fat storage in your body, and it helps with your skeletal muscle. So it provides energy supply and improves glucose utilization and promotes muscle preservation, which is so important, especially as we age. Muscle is like the currency of longevity. So we definitely want to do whatever we can to protect our muscle mass, that's for sure. So Life Vantage has just released these are so we've just launched this international formula in New Zealand and Australia and the UK and Europe and Mexico. So this international formula, these are the brand new results from this international formula, which we just heard on the weekend from Lisa Barnes, our chief scientist. And she shared that they did some third-party testing with the product with some people in a 12-week basically a 12-week weight management program. And this is what the third-party testing results came out with. So it increased GLP-1 by 220% was the average increase, which is phenomenal. There was an 88% improvement in A1C levels. There was an average GIP increase. There was a 74% average pancreatic polypeptide increase and a 5% average leptin increase. Now, these are the figures that I love and I can definitely relate to, and I'm sure that many of you will be excited by this. So they also shared that up to the system they shared has got it up to 8.6 body fat decrease. That's what the participants experienced. They had an up to 8.1% subcutaneous fat decrease, and they had up 8.8% visceral fat decrease. Oh my goodness, can you imagine that? And up to 7.2% skeletal muscle increase. So as I said, muscle is absolutely what we want to be preserving and increasing. So that's really exciting. And the participants had up to 6.4 kilogram weight loss in 12 weeks. So very cool. And what did this mean, right? Because that's lots of stats, but this is what the participants shared. So 80% experienced decreased food cravings, 80% experienced decreased sugar cravings, 94% experienced decreased alcohol cravings, 97% experienced decreased soda cravings or soft drink cravings. Did I say 94% experienced a decrease in alcohol cravings and 89% experienced a decrease in food cravings? So, like, phenomenal. The support that this product can give to people, myself included, who has definitely struggled with emotional eating and sugar cravings most of my life. Like, this product has been an absolute blessing. 91% experienced a decrease in portion size at meals, 86% felt a decreased appetite, and 80% felt satisfied between meals. Now, how good is that? Because honestly, snacking in between meals, that can be, half the downfall, right? And 77% experienced increased ability to resist snacking. So very exciting with these results, because I know what it's done for me, and Rachel's going to share her story. But like, just the amount of people that this can support, people who have struggled with these cravings, not only to food, but also to alcohol and soft drinks, for a really long time, and not being able to get the right support or the right help to help them get past that. This is really exciting. So, Rachel, I'm going to ask you to share your story, because I love your story. You are a busy mum of 3, and and you've had an incredible journey on this mind body system. So I'd love you to share, Rach.
Awesome. Thank you, Liko. So my name's Rachel, as Liko said. Got 3 children. I'm 45. I actually had my children later in life. So I feel like I spent a lot of the last 10 years either pregnant or breastfeeding and very sleep deprived. So I ended up putting on a lot of weight over this time, and I did try many things to lose it. I remember doing a weight loss program where I did lose some weight in the 6 weeks, but I was really miserable and I hated having to track everything. And anything that I couldn't have, I wanted it even more. So when the 6 weeks were up, I was so excited that I went back to the same old ways and I put the weight back on again. So this picture, the one in the middle in the red, that was me last year. I did a 21-day challenge, and it was great when I was doing it. I loved all the accountability, but at the end, I would go back to my same old habits. So before I started the Mind Body, I had some terrible snacking habits. I'd get my kids to bed, I'd make their lunches, and the pantry would literally be screaming at me. I would eat the muesli bars, the biscuits, the chips, the Halloween candy, the Easter eggs, and even the Christmas chocolates that I'd bought as gifts for other people. Then I would have to go out and buy more. I don't know if you can relate, but that was me. So the day I started the Mind Body, it worked for me on the first day. The food noise was gone along with the sugar cravings. Like, it was insane. The pantry stopped screaming at me now, and now I have no desire to eat anything sweet. It's incredible. So last week I'd made a apple and feijoa crumble, and I thought, oh, I might have a wee bit. And I tasted the custard and I said, oh, I can't have that, it's too sweet. So I thought, I'll have a little bit with some Greek yogurt. I still couldn't eat it. It was still too sweet for me. So I actually feel like my brain has been rewired. So the weight slowly come off. The first picture there in the black singlet, that's in November last year. and the one beside it is in January. So I have made changes to my diet because I was really under eating protein. And I've noticed the difference now that I'm eating more. So I aim for about 30 to 40 grams at breakfast. And I was also very thirsty when I started the Mind Body. So obviously I hadn't been drinking enough water as well. So I did have a break in December as they ran out in the US because it literally sold out in the first 2 weeks. And the amazing thing is that the food noise didn't come back. So, but when it came to Christmas, I ate and drank like normal, and I felt quite awful. Like I can't eat and drink like that anymore. I felt just awful. So in January, I started back on it again. Weirdly, the scales didn't move much in that month, but the centimeters did. I lost over 4 centimeters off my belly. So this is just honestly, it's been a game changer for me. I'm now down 6 kilos. The crazy thing is, when I see my after picture, I don't feel like I've been hungry enough or deprived enough to have achieved that. I haven't, it's amazing. But I have been taking the NRF2. It's actually been 4 years now, and I truly think that maybe why the Mind Body was day one, because we're all different. Our bodies are all different. So some people it may take longer for the food noise to go. Some like me, it went instantly. But I believe that the NRF2 helped that because it reduced the inflammation in my body, and it helps your body actually stores toxins in the fat cells, and if your detox pathways aren't working properly, it makes it harder to release the fat. So the NRF2 will clean up the cells, and it's incredible. And another one I would say is make sure that your gut health is really good, because that's where it all starts. And also, just want to say, guys, treat this as an incredible tool. It is an investment in your health. So do the other things as well. Eat more protein, drink more water, and move your body. And I'm so excited for you all to try this, because I want you to have the results that I'm having, and I want you to feel like I do, where you don't eat the cakes at morning tea time at work, not because you're being good, not because you're tracking. It's because you literally don't feel like eating them. You have no desire for them anymore. Like, honestly, it's amazing. Um, so yes, and definitely so much support as well. And we know how this works. And yeah, thank you so much.
Amazing, Rach. As I say, I love hearing your story, and what a game changer. I remember you sharing with me, how, whenever you did baking for the kids, and then, you'd always find yourself snacking in the pantry, afterwards, or, you'd make chocolate chip cookies and you'd find yourself snacking, the
All
chocolate
the
chips. And
time.
I can relate to that. That was me,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden it's like, actually you can but do the baking and not want to eat it, or and do, not want to eat those chocolate chips. So
That's the
yeah,
amazing
so
thing is
good.
that I didn't used to be able to buy the cooking chocolate unless I used it. Otherwise, I would eat it. It was due, and then when you go to make the cookies, and there's
Yeah.
no cooking,
Yeah.
mum's eaten it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, I can so relate. It's just, yeah, been incredible. Thanks, Rach. I really appreciate that. Um, Now I'm going to share, this is Shauna. Shauna's story is, she's one of our consultants in the US, and she's had an incredible story as well. Just she said basically she feels like it's activated her willpower. Um, and yeah, she's definitely dropped weight. She's feeling more empowered and in control, and just so grateful. This is Ashley Lachlan. Now, she has been super vocal about her journey, which has been incredible to watch. And she has said, like, obviously, it's not just the weight loss, it's been the PMS has gone for her, the hormonal no, yeah, I was going to say the hormonal rage, but yeah, basically, the PMS symptoms have definitely decreased. Her irritable bowel syndrome is gone. She feels like her inflammation has decreased. Her brain fog is gone. Her anxiety is gone. Exhaustion. She's a mum of 4 kids. And the food noise, the sugar addiction have all gone, and just mood swings have gone. She obviously had scalp issues that have gone, and just dull skin no more. And I know that Ashley's taken the NRF2 and the Mind Body, and also the collagen as well. So yeah, she's been an absolute joy to watch and see her story unfold. And this is Charlene. This story has absolutely touched my heart. Charlene is in the UK, and she has been incredibly kind in sharing her story. And I mean, I look at these pictures and I just think, wow. And I hear her story, and she will just tell you how much it has absolutely changed her life and just, given her hope, really, that there is a way, that there is something that she can do to support her body to, to lose weight. And the other thing as well, and Lisa Barnes talked about on the weekend as well, is that, for a lot of people, sometimes the scales don't move, but it's the body composition. And that's a bit what Rachel was talking about as well. Sometimes it's the body composition that can change and adjust. Sandy, used to say, you lose the fluff around the outside. But this is another story from Leslie. These are her results from, or her progress, I should say, as she took part in a challenge that we had, which is a 12-week challenge, using the mind body system. And yeah, again, just amazing changes that you could see in that body composition. And yeah, I love the smiles. The smiles say it all, right? And this is me. Gosh. Now, I this this these products, I mean, I loved NRF2, but when I heard that we had a mind body coming and a weight management system, I was honestly just so excited, because this is an absolute, I was thinking, what an absolute gift, because last year I had a combination of my boys left home. My parents were, quite unwell, so I was supporting my elderly parents. I am in the midst of perimenopause. I also had started a sedentary job, and the combination saw me gain rather a lot of weight, and I ended up at over 100 kilos, which for me felt awful. I would kind of go and look at my wardrobe and think, okay, what am I going to wear today? And nothing fitted and anything that did fit, I felt like I had fat and flab just, bulging over the side. And I was determined not to buy any new clothes, because I was thinking, I'm surely I can do this. Surely I can, lose weight and, get back into my clothes. So basically in September, I had had enough, and I decided, right, I am going to make some diet and lifestyle changes. And so I did. And then when my body came, it was an absolute blessing, because you can imagine I was, up over 100 kilos. By November, I had lost about 3 kilos or 3.6 kilos. And I was thinking, how can I carry on? And that's when mind body came into my life. And a bit like Rach, I noticed a difference from day one. So just the whole food noise. And I didn't even know what food noise was until I didn't have food noise. And basically how, the way that I felt it, or what I experienced, was all of a sudden I could eat a meal and then feel full. I didn't want to go back for seconds. It satisfied me. It was enough. I could walk past the fruit bowl and, and not want to eat. I could walk past the cupboard and not want to eat. And it was just such a weird sensation for somebody who, has always suffered with emotional eating. Basically, if I was bored, I would eat. If I was stressed, I would eat. If I was, worried, if my kids annoyed me, I would eat. Food was definitely a crux, for me to kind of lift me up. And all of a sudden, I didn't feel like eating. I felt like, I was like, actually, I don't even want to eat. I don't want to, bury my emotions in food anymore. And that was just absolute game changer for me. Um, and what's happened over time, I've also implemented diet and lifestyle changes. And what system has allowed me to do is continue with that momentum, with those diet and lifestyle changes alongside the mind body. And I am just so grateful, because as of last week, I think since November, I'm down about 15 kilos, which is, honestly, I didn't know how I would ever lose weight again, because everything I was trying was not working. Everything I'd done before was not working. So to have this, as a tool in my toolbox, and to be able to support me as I make diet and lifestyle changes and do the other things that I know are going to support my body, it's just made it so much more doable, which is, yeah, as I say, an absolute game changer. And I guess just a quick story, which, some people might relate to, but a couple of weekends ago, we celebrated my mum's 83rd birthday, and I made her a cake. And normally I'd be like, oh, when I'd think about baking, I'd go, oh, here we go. Because normally when I'd bake something, I'd be in there in the past, I'd be, I'd make the cake, I'd eat the mixture as I was making it. Then when I would go to ice it, I'd be eating the icing. And then when obviously you'd go to time to cut the cake, I would then, want the biggest piece, or, want a really big piece, and often would go back for seconds. And, like my sugar cravings were kind of out of control. So, but a couple of weekends ago, I was able to make my mum's cake. I didn't feel I made it without wanting to have any of the mixture. I didn't eat any icing. And when it kind of came time to celebrate her birthday, I had a small piece, and that was enough. So for me, it just feels like, celebrating food freedom, for the first time in my life, which is, as I say, an absolute game changer, which I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful for. So this is the system that both Rachel and I are using. So we're using the NRF2 to reduce that oxidative stress, to reduce that inflammation, to support the body as we go through changes, and the mind body, which is, as we said, it's a two-part system. So the MB core is the tablets, and you take that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. And then MB Enhance is the powder, and it's delicious, mixed in smoothies, in a protein with protein powder, or another beverage. It's got a cranberry blueberry extract sort of flavor. And yeah, it's definitely I would say, like, one of the easiest systems that I've ever used. Like, you can incorporate it into your life quite easily. It's great. Now, what I love about LifeVantage is that they're not just going to go, okay, here's the system, and on your way. They actually have given us the tools to help set you up for success. So this is our guide for getting started when you purchase the Mind Body system. um, and they talk this is a great guide to kind of talk to you about how you can identify your habits and make adjustments, how you take the mind body system consistently, because that's the key to success. Check in with yourself regularly. And then they also talk about the activation accelerators. And these are things that we know help and support your body if you're on a weight loss journey, or if you're on a journey to wanting to to improve your health, to better health. And they basically give you a choice, so you can choose. They give you all of these options. There's about 10 of them. And then they say to you, okay, if you want small sustainable changes, then if you make 1 to 3 changes, then or if you add 1 to 3 activation accelerators, then that's a good start. If you want better results, then they suggest you add 4 to 6. And if you want the best results, so if you want a complete transformation, I guess, like, something that I've experienced, then they recommend that you add 7 to 10 of these activation accelerators. And what I would say is that I definitely have probably, done most of these, on my journey. But the beautiful thing about Mind Body is it's made it seamless. Like, it's just, I've been able to incorporate all those things, and it hasn't felt like I've had to white knuckle it, or use massive willpower. Like, I feel like it's actually just, it's been this like my best friend, my new best friend in my toolkit, and just being able to implement those changes so much more easily. And as I say, maintain that momentum. It's not like a plan or a challenge, or and don't get me wrong, those things are all amazing, but with the mind body is it doesn't stop, like it's there for us for as long as we want to take it, which is what I love. I love that there's no end point to it, that we can continue, we'll continue to get the benefits, as long as we want to take it. So that is, I guess, what I'm going to share tonight. And what I will say is, imagine where you'd be in 6 months if you started today. Because I tell you what, I didn't imagine that I would be where I am. And so yeah, yeah, it's an incredible system. Yeah, so anyway, so please get back to the person who shared this with you, or who invited you along tonight, or shared the recording with you. And yeah, we'd love to talk to you a little bit more about it.